Oh boy, Aron Ra. This story again.
So let's move on to Elisha. This one's going to be easy. How about the 42 children that were killed by she-bears for making fun of Elisha? And we can see this as a prescription if we just read 2 Kings 2:23 through 24. From there, Elisha went up to Bethel. As he was walking along the road, some boys came out of the town and jeered at him. "Get out of here, Baldy," they said. "Get out of here, Baldy." He turned around, looked at them, and called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord.
Amen.
So curse in whose name? The Lord. Now, if this was a curse God didn't want to happen, nothing would happen. But what happened? Then 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Eyeballed. In a billion years, I would never want 42 of even the most mature men alive mauled by 2 bears on my behalf of that. But Elisha agreed.
Because you got self-esteem. I wish I could do what Elisha did. When the bouncers tell me to get out of the bar, laughing at me because I'm different, I wish I could call down 2 she-bears so I could have the satisfaction of seeing 2 muscle-bound, proud, strong soldier boy bouncers suddenly in utter terror, so I could see the terror in their eyes as they were being ripped to their heads by bears. Because you see, I can't do that myself. Now, if only I was able to fight and beat up one of these bouncers one-on-one, I wouldn't have to wish this on them. Or what about the kids when I'm coming out of the store and some middle school kids are making fun of me? "Oh, you look good," they say to me. I'm like, "Thank you." And then one of them says, "Not. You walk like a retard." I wish I could recall 2 she-bears on them and see them mauled. Because you see, if only I was a good-looking guy, if only I was not a loser, I wouldn't feel this way. If only I had some fucking self-esteem, I wouldn't feel this way. But until I know I'm somebody, sometimes you gotta get your self-esteem at the expense of those who have it. At the expense of those who are better than you. Sometimes you gotta better yourself at the expense of those who are better than you. Are you listening, Aron Ra? Are you listening? Goddamn fuck, god dick, shit, and mother dick, and the goddamn rag, bitch. Or that time, those 12 and 14-year-old kids were throwing rocks at me, trying to hit me in the head. One of them picked up a lead pipe and threw it at me, tried to hit me. What did I do? I started picking rocks, throwing them right back at them. If they're mad enough to jump a grown man, they're mad enough to get their ass kicked by a grown man. Now, I even asked the cops, if they make me afraid for my life legitimately, am I allowed to shoot them even though they're under the age of 18? And the cops was like, if it's in self-defense, if you really feel for your life, you can do that. You think I'm gonna let those little kids hurt me just because they're not mature enough to understand what they're doing? Hell no, I love myself infinitely more than them. I'd send a whole barrel full of kids like that to burn in hell forever to keep myself just from dying. Look, y'all people in this world are too soft. In this world of air conditioning and ease of travel, where there's no such thing as a hard life, but life is fun, life is more pleasure, little pain, it's easy to become soft on people who are shit asses.
I mean, it seems to me we could have been having this conversation 500 years ago. And life was difficult 500 years ago. There was a lot of despair. There were crops failed and disease spread, and people suffered just instantaneous and catastrophic changes in their fortune. And it was the cause of all of this actually was well understood 500 years ago. It was witchcraft.
But when you lived in, you just don't understand what it was like in those days. Life was hard. If you had a group of children that kept stealing from you, and because they were stealing from you, you were starving, and your family was starving, about to die, you would understand why it was justice to kill those people, to kill those little kids for stealing. I do it to keep them from. I kill those kids to keep my family from starving. Look, I love them. Don't ever ask me to choose between me and mine, those that I love, and you and yours. You'll lose every fucking time. It's about survival. Survival of the fittest, man. If you let people rock on you like a doormat, you're a loser, and you're gonna lose. Especially in a day of when life is extremely hard. No air conditioning, no travel. If somebody stole your crops, you couldn't just go to the store and buy new food. Life was tough, and you had to be tough, and you had to treat criminals with capital, and you had to kill the criminals, or else by default they'd kill you because they'd make it so you could not survive and you'd have to die out. It's a tough choice. It's a choice. Are you gonna let them kill you, or are you gonna kill them to keep from having to die? That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And if I had some self-esteem, if I was a good-looking guy, I wouldn't mind people making fun of me. But right now, I can't get people to watch me on social media. My song's not making me famous. You let some little kid making fun of me, making fun of my looks, and if I had the Spirit of God to do so, I'll call down 2 fucking she-bears on them to kill them. What about what Jesus taught? It's easy for Jesus to love his enemies. It's easy for Jesus to love his enemies because if they don't change and become his worshippers, Jesus gets to have the pleasure of seeing them thrown into the lake of fire forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, you see. If I have an enemy and they get saved, God's going to forgive them and not make them pay me back what they took from me. I'm just going to have to forgive them and suffer loss. Fuck that. You gotta be tough in this world. You can either be a doormat or a king. Now, sure, if I was going to be the Lord of the universe, I'd be willing to be a doormat. But be a doormat and up here, just so I can be a doormat to God in heaven? Fuck no.
Love me, but instead you stood above, you spit me out, you kick me down. I hate your now,